Hey everyone, I'm your host Grace Ravyn. I would like to start off by saying thank you for being patient with me. My laptop is finally back to working and there shouldn't be any more hiccups. Today's video is about 5 of my favourite films. There are so many to choose from, but I would like to share 5 of them with you today. Number 1. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. This is one of my all-time favourites. I love how even though there isn't a real waterfall in a chocolate factory, or a crazy boat or Oompa Loompas, somehow it makes you feel like it's real and could actually happen. I love the story and the characters, especially Charlie, Grandpa Joe and of course Willy Wonka himself. I was watching Don't Tell the Bride and they had a Willy Wonka themed reception and it looked amazing. Also, my sister was telling me about the Willy Wonka hat that Gene Wilder wore being at auction, and honestly I would love to own it, but the price would be crazy. I have movie pop vinyls too. I have Charlie Bucket, Grandpa Joe, Willy Wonka and an Oompa Loompa. I once watched the film 7 times in the same day. I just kept putting it on repeat because I was sick and it cheered me up. Here are some things you may not know. The chocolate river was actually made of real chocolate, water and cream. It spoiled fairly quickly and left a terrible smell. Gene Wilder said he would make the film under one condition. He wanted to do a somersault in the scene when he first meets the children. When asked why, the actor said that having Willy Wonka start out limping and end up somersaulting would set the tone for the character. He wanted to portray him as someone whose actions were completely unpredictable. The actor who played Grandpa George, Ernest Ziegler, was nearly blinded from poison gas in World War I, so he was instructed to look for a red light to guide him when his character was meant to be looking in a certain direction. The foam used to spurt out in the Wonka wash scene was made from basic fire extinguishers, but the foam was a potent skin irritant, so after shooting the scene, the actors were left in considerable discomfort with their skin puffed up and reportedly required several days to receive medical treatment and recovery. The song lyric Wonka sings on the boat ride, "There's no earthly way of knowing," are the only song lyrics taken directly from Roald Dahl's book. All other songs were written specifically for the film. Number 2. Foster. You may not have heard of this movie, but if you haven't, you need to go and watch it. In my opinion, it was one of the most heartfelt, amazing movies. It will make you smile, but it will also make you cry. I'm not going to give you any spoilers because to have the full experience of this movie, you have to just go and watch it. If you do, please leave a comment about what you thought. Things you may not know. Foster was written and directed by Jonathan Newman. There was first a short film of Foster before the full-length movie. It premiered on HBO and BBC in 2007. It won Best Film, Best Actor for Preston Nyman, Special Jury Prize and Best Screenplay at the Braga International Film Festival in Portugal. The film premiered on the 18th of October 2011 at the Rome Film Festival and was released in 2012. Part of the movie was shot at Legoland Windsor in 2010. Italian film review site Person Sala called it a sweet and very moving comedy and praised Maurice Cole's performance as Eli, saying, "Caught in the shoes of a child, incredibly mature for his age." Number 3. New York Minute. Jane and Roxy Ryan, played by Ashley and Mary-Kate Olsen, are teenage Long Island twins who find themselves on numerous misadventures when they trek into Manhattan on a school day. I love this movie. Me and my sister used to watch it together all the time. At one point we had 2 DVDs of it in case something happened to one of them. We even took it on holiday with us. I just love how different the sisters are in the movie. The characters are brilliant and all the challenges they come across throughout the movie are crazy and funny. They managed to pack so many different things into the movie and it paid off. It didn't seem cluttered, it just all goes together perfectly. I always wanted my name to be Roxy after watching it too. I heard the name and I loved it, but I'm glad I didn't change my name. However, it has had extremely bad reviews and ratings, such as Roger Ebert saying, "New York Minute is a textbook example of a film created as a vehicle, but without any ideas about where the vehicle should go." Things you may not know. The Olsen twins go running past Bob Saget in the streets of New York, he turns around and stares at them as he knows who they are but cannot remember them. Bob Saget played Danny Tanner on the sitcom Full House in 1987, in which he was the father of Michelle Tanner, who was played by the Olsen twins. The film was only rated 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. The film was directed by Denny Gordon and released on May 7, 2004. It had a budget of $30 million but only made $23.4 million at the box office. At the very end of the movie, when the band is playing and the twins are dancing with their boyfriends, the music stops at one point while the musicians keep playing their instruments. Number 4. The School of Rock. I love Jack Black's character Dewey because although he comes across as selfish and a bit of a freeloader, he also does really care about Ned and just wishes he would get back into music too. He is also funny and isn't as tough as he pretends to be. His intentions start off as just making money, but you can tell that he really does see talent in the children and cares about them by the end of it. Also, I love Jack Black as an actor and musician and would love to meet him. Things you may not know. The film was originally going to shoot in Austin, Texas, but producer Scott Rudin chose to move it to New York instead. There is a deleted scene involving Dewey going to his brother's house to beg for money, only to discover it's his nephew's birthday. Since he doesn't have a present, he just ends up playing Happy Birthday on his guitar. Jack Black didn't just film his scenes and leave set, he hung around to play games with the kids in between takes. Several takes had to be redone because Robert Sy, who played Lawrence, would crack up laughing and ruin the shot. The scene where Jack Black talks about his weight was one of his favourite scenes from all of his work. Number 5. Patch Adams. First of all, I'd like to say Robin Williams is amazing and has truly helped me in so many ways through his movies. I will definitely be doing a separate video about him sometime in the future. Patch Adams is one of my favourite films, as to me it is a perfect balance between comedy, heartache and sadness. Robin Williams' character Patch Adams is not only hilarious but compassionate, smart and caring. His character is the kind of person I feel we should all try to be, and is that person you would want in the hospital with you when you are sick or you don't have long left. We need a real-life Patch Adams in every hospital, but unfortunately funding doesn't support it, and even those who try are usually reprimanded for not meeting deadlines. The movie shows us that we should all come together and make something great happen, and if at first people aren't on board, if you feel you're doing what's right, then don't give up. I think the character of Patch Adams is also the character that relates most to Robin Williams, as he made people happy his whole life even though he was battling his mental health. Things you may not know. The movie is based on the real hunter Patch Adams, who in a CNN interview said the following: "I think Robin himself is compassionate, generous and funny. I like to think that that's who I am, and so I think he was the only actor I wanted to play me, and I think he did a fabulous job, and my friends around the country are feeling that he gives that basic message." Patch Adams explained in an interview certain aspects of his real-life romance with his wife Linda were injected into the film. This includes the room full of balloons scene. "I filled my apartment with balloons from floor to ceiling, with 20 or so people in the room. No one could see anyone else, but whenever one person moved, everybody could feel it. It was a circus of sensations." She went back down to the dorm and told her friends, "I just had the strangest date of my life. I think I'm going to marry this guy." Linda and Patch were married in 1972 and have 2 sons. The film depicts a midlife Patch, Robin Williams, staying at a mental hospital. In reality, Patch Adams endured 3 different mental hospitalisations when he was much younger, during the time when he was 17 and 18 years old. He opted for the name Patch after his stay at a mental hospital. At the hospital, one of the patients who he became friends with dubbed him Patch because his friendship had patched up the loneliness in the patient's life. If you haven't seen this movie before and you have the time, I recommend looking up Patch Adams' true story and then watching the movie. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave your favourite movies in the comments or any comments about the movies I've mentioned. Thank you.